What a day, bro. Need to go through my shit here. What's up, Caleb?
Pretty sure you can't have a vacuum next to a vacuum, Solly. I'm dead, dude. Oh, bro. Freaking. I feel bad, but Globy gets me mad, bro. I freaking lost it a little bit yesterday, but that dude just rubs me wrong how he tried to do that gotcha and then he ended up being totally wrong.
Yeah, I did see. I missed like the first like 80% of that conversation. I joined in towards the end, and then when you guys were up there, I wasn't fully even sure what the argument really was by that time. But it wouldn't surprise me for him to like flip the script. He was using like ChatGPT too, which is like, you know, you could tell ChatGPT that you're Superman, or you can have it tell you that you're Superman if you ask it the right questions.
Oh yeah. Well, the whole conversation, how I had him pull up that picture and how those lines are converging. He's calling that Euclidean geometry. But he's saying it's only converging because of perspective, but that's the whole point. Is perspective makes straight lines converge so we see in non-Euclidean geometry. But the earth or railroad tracks could be Euclidean geometry, right? Like they are parallel.
So it's like he's literally just picking apart essentially semantics, like just
Mhm.
cherry picking, basically. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Trying to do a gotcha. I'm sure he's gonna clip that up, but I'll just comment the AI the response from Grok that I got. He's good.
Yeah, I'd like to debate him, dude. I'm hoping he comes through with that. Um, like I
Did he
don't care if
message
you have to
you?
have Jaren. No, but I talked with him last night about it for like a minute or two. I was like, dude, debate me. Like you debate everybody else, like debate me too, because like I know I can do it.
Oh yeah, dude,
And
he's easy work, bro. He literally, if you get him on spin or gravity, he's done. He can't. He
oh,
doesn't
I
know anything.
know.
He admits he knows nothing.
I know. And like his little fucking picture that he took from his airplane is not gonna cut it, bro. Like that's easily
It,
just because we have an atmosphere. Like I could just literally argue like you expect to see the horizon rise to eye level through an atmosphere at what distance exactly? Like you're that's so dumb. Why would you expect to see the horizon rise to eye level?
it's like at this point he has to be either completely unself-aware or just a full-blown shill for the globe, right? Like Artemis, some of the curve that they were showing at hundreds of thousands of feet, similar to the curve that they're claiming is at 40,000 feet. Like the claim
I
literally just
know.
makes no sense.
I know. I've seen some of the pictures. I mean, they're gonna. I'm surprised nobody's brought that up yet today. But like, it's just it's so freaking corny, dude. They showed like a big picture of the Earth with like 30 or 40% of it showing, and there's no land on it. And it's like, okay, yeah, cool picture, bro. Where's the continents? It's just a bunch of clouds and shit. It's nuts.
Yeah, I mean it's all a joke, dude. But yeah, he definitely cracks me up. But he also is like one of the only Globies that can just piss me off, dude. He can just set me off because he's so disingenuous with such a cocky little smirk on his face that it just literally it drives me bonkers, dude. He's one of the only Globers that can rage bait me today.
Well, he was saying a bunch of shit specifically to upset you. And I tried to
Oh
take
yeah, that
attention away from
too.
that as often
Yeah.
as I could. I was like, dude, at one point I was like, why do you keep talking about Caleb? Like, he's not even here. Like, shut up, dude. So
I know,
weird.
yeah,
He's
I was
obsessed with
listening,
you.
but he like you heard what I said in retortion to that claim, and he's just like, "Oh, you're only saying that because blah blah." Like he's such dude. He's
Yeah.
literally a loser, bro.
Cherry picking some shit that happened like a year ago, by the way. What's up, Jake?
Not much. How
Hey,
are you?
buddy. What's up, man? Do you think the Earth is a sphere?
I think it's a sphere, yeah.
What makes you come to that conclusion?
Well, first, I just want to ask you if you were presented with like
Yeah, just
100%
answer.
logical evidence that said the Earth was a sphere, would you be open minded to change your mind?
Yeah, if we had actual proof that the Earth was a sphere, I don't have a bias in either direction, dude. I'm in a neutral position. The evidence that I've seen just tends to lead towards the idea that it's not a sphere.
Explain that evidence to me.
So is this like a shifting the burden of proof thing where you're not going to provide evidence that I asked you for?
No, I will
So
after
if
you.
Jake, if you look at the panel and read the words on panel, it says provide evidence. So typically that means you have to go first. If you'd like to admit you have no evidence the Earth's a ball, we'll go ahead and answer all your questions.
Okay, well, firstly, have you heard about Eratosthenes' experiment?
I love the way you
Eratosthenes. It's
I love how
Eratosthenes.
every time I hear that, it's a different. How did you say it? I'm sorry.
Eratosthenes.
Eratosthenes, yeah, that guy. There's no primary documentation of that event ever taking place, but even if you recreate the experiment, you still have to assume parallel rays from the sun, even though they literally appear to be divergent or crepuscular. And you have to assume non-Euclidean geometry, which
Why
is
do
just
you
going to
have to
give
assume
you.
those things? Can you explain to me?
Well, you have to assume the distant sun because otherwise, if you assume a local sun, you can recreate the experiment on a flat table. And you have to. The only reason you would assume non-Euclidean is if you were going to measure a circumference of a sphere, right?
Throw me in the big box real quick.
Interesting. Real quick, do you believe in gravity, my brother?
Hold on, Jake.
So
But
you're
before
just
you just
opposite.
totally scattergun it and red herring real quick, you see the math behind me?
Oh, the chat's kind of in the way. Wait, let me see if I can get rid of the chat.
Just hold
chat
your
is-
thumb on the screen and then clear the display.
Oh, yeah, sweet. Okay. Yep, I see it.
Can you read that first sentence for me?
Oh, wait, your thing's in the way. Eratosthenes divided 360 by 72 and got 7.2 and got 50. I don't know what the last word is because my cam's in
Okay.
the way.
Where did he get the 360 degrees in that equation?
It's the circumference of a circle.
Yeah, where did he get it? How did he know it was 360 degrees? How does he know the Earth's a ball?
Well, it was already established math that, if you... Well, I
said
will
he
agree.
established
How'd they establish it?
Degrees are... Pardon?
You said
How'd
he
they
established
establish the Earth's a
math.
ball? Yeah, I thought he established it.
Well, do you know what the actual experiment...
It's not an experiment, bro. It's
the
just
experiment
math.
was, buddy.
All right.
It depends. Do you want to use obelisks, pillars, wells, or sticks to cast the shadows? Like you get a variety of results because, like I said, there's no primary documentation of this even happening. But you can recreate it, and if you beg the question and assume sphericity, yeah, you're going to get dimensions of a sphere because math works. But it
But you
doesn't
can-
actually prove.
Yeah,
Okay, but you can
if you look at the
recreate it
photo
yourself.
behind me,
Like,
it works on both models, by the way, with a local sun and a flat Earth. And there's actually a clip of Neil deGrasse Tyson even admitting that this didn't prove the Earth was round. It works on a flat Earth as well.
but do you feel like the Earth... Sorry, are you saying the sun stays in the same position in the sky at that...
No, I'm saying
that
it's local.
left picture?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
local.
what do you mean
It
by
moves.
local? Like it's much closer than we think it is, or what do you mean by that?
Yeah, that
It's
would
much
be
closer than
local,
we're told
locality,
that it is,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's much
so
closer than we're told that it is.
How hot do you think the sun is, bro?
I don't know, but we
You realize
wouldn't have.
if the sun was
do you-
like 1 kilometer closer to us, we'd all be fucking fried. You realize that, right?
Wow, that's compelling. What evidence supports that claim?
Where did you get that? Where'd you get that logic? Who
Well, you
told
can
that?
use spectroscopy to figure out the atmospheric composition of the sun.
How do you do spectroscopy, Jake?
This is tested science. Well, basically, you
Wait, explain spectroscopy to me. Let me know. Prove that you understand it. Let's hear it.
basically the different types of elements produce different wavelengths of light on a scale, and you can use the black body radiation curve to figure out what wavelength of light it's emitting, and that corresponds to a different element. And so based on what we can see on the radiation curve from the sun, we know what elements it's emitting. Based on what we've tested on Earth, we can recreate.
It's emitting
the sun.
elements?
Pardon?
The sun emits elements?
No, the sun is made of elements in its core, and
Oh,
nuclear
okay, made of
fusion
elements,
is what
it's
is
not emitting
facilitating the heat.
So how does this spectrometer work? How do you just explain the basic tenets? Like, what are you doing when you put when you filter light through a spectrometer? What are you doing?
Wait. Sorry, say that again.
What are you doing when you filter light through a spectrometer? What does the spectrometer do?
Well, you don't filter light through the spectrometer. You're analyzing the light, And what you're essentially doing is you're comparing it with wavelengths of visible light, etc., infrared, and each element has a slightly red shifted or blue shifted spectrum based on what element it is, basically. That's how it works.
It's not at all how it works. Do you want to try again?
Can you explain to me how it works then?
So you admit you don't know how a spectrometer works then?
No, I've told you how it works, but you're saying I don't know how it works when actually I feel like you're in that same boat. So can you explain to me how it works then, if I'm wrong?
So you said you take the black body radiation and you look at the wavelengths. How are you looking at the wavelengths?
You can measure wavelengths of light.
How do you measure it?
We're using math, bro. You can, so wavelengths,
What kind of math?
wavelengths are connected
He
to,
doesn't know, dude.
No, I do.
Dude, I like the
Wavelengths are
confidence,
connected
but
to the
definitely you
amplitude
don't
of
know
light.
how a spectrometer works, and they don't use math, by the way.
Well, it does. That's how you fucking, okay, so how would you,
Whoa.
how would you get, no,
I don't know if
just-
Solly's allowing F-bombs on the panel. Are we
I'm
allowing
asking you a
F-bombs?
question, bro.
I've been trying to lean towards not cussing, so if we could
Okay, I'm sorry.
refrain from
I
that,
won't do
appreciate
that.
it. It's okay, bro.
I know it's frustrating to be shown that you don't know something that you're claiming to know, but less F-bombs. Come on, man.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to what you said. How do they measure the wavelength of the light if it's not with math and using equivalents? How do they do
Yeah,
it?
they filter it through a spectrometer, which breaks it down into a prism, breaks it into a rainbow, and then they analyze the colors
Okay, but how do they analyze it? According to you, I'm wrong.
based
So
on
how
the
do they-
colors. They
Okay,
look at the
how do
colors,
they-
no math.
How do they see the colors?
They see the colors through the spectrometer. It has a eyepiece.
But how do they see the colors if the wavelength is lower than visible light?
They're not
Well, then you
looking at.
wouldn't.
You think they're looking at non-visible light when they use a spectrometer? Are you being genuine?
Of course, they look at non-visible. They analyze all.
So wait,
all
how does the
wavelengths.
spectrometer measure non-visible light? Like, what's it doing?
Because the spectrometer is not. They're not physically looking at the light. It's a machine that analyzes. They use math as well, but they input certain equations and it analyzes what the wavelength of the light is, and that tells them what
certain
type of light
equations.
is coming back.
Yeah, what
Yeah, I
equations
can-
are they doing?
They can use the Have you ever heard of the double slit experiment?
Are you joking?
I'm not
That's a
joking.
non sequitur if I've ever heard one.
You're not being serious, right?
They basically use this, bro. This is high school physics. This is like year 12 physics.
It's not though.
I did my HSC last year, and we sorry. We covered all of this. Like, it was pretty. It's pretty basic.
Clearly,
stuff.
you didn't
Like,
listen when they covered it.
I was
So
gonna
you're
say,
saying
you guys
physics
covered
is wrong?
I'm saying you're wrong.
Okay, but I'm just following physics. So you're saying physics is wrong? That's
Sorry, I'm
interesting.
typing something. What'd you say, bud?
So I'm just following physics. So you're saying physics is wrong?
So I just looked it up. When doing spectrometry and using a spectrometer, do we look at the light from celestial objects? Yes. When doing spectrometry, or more commonly called a spectroscopy in astronomy, in the spectrometer, astronomers do look at the coming light from celestial objects, such as stars, galaxies, planets, nebula, and other distant bodies. So,
Okay, so that proves
So you were
what I
wrong?
said about the sun's about the sun's rays.
oh my gosh, bro.
Sorry, I'm just Australian, bro.
Losing it.
This is common in
Dude,
our.
I have friends that are Australian. It's not that. You're just uncomfortable. It is what it is, bro.
I'm not, bro. We say that.
Do you have a-
we
And
say
it
that
also
stuff all the
says what
time.
I said. It says it collects that incoming light and splits it into component wavelengths, creating a spectrum.
Right.
It's
then
like I knew more about it than you or something.
what I want you to look up is put this on in chat or Claude or Google or whatever. I want you to look up. Can they visibly see all the light from a spectroscopy machine and see what it says?
The answer to that would be no. But just because there's non-visible light, that doesn't support your claim. That doesn't have anything to do with anything.
Well, it
no,
does,
they
because-
cannot.
if there's-
No,
if
astronomers
there's-
cannot see or detect all the light. So,
Yeah.
Right.
do you think that
But-
helps you?
And but that's the thing.
Yes.
If even okay, so you're like, well, what about the non-visible light? Well, we can't measure the non-visible light, so it has no importance to the discussion.
You can
Understand
because
that,
of
right?
mathematical equivalence. Like just because you've
How
never
do you
seen
measure
the number,
non-visible light?
just because
What-
you've
what-
never
what do you-
seen the number 2,000 trillion doesn't mean it doesn't exist, bro. You can,
What?
you know, you can
I think
figure
you
out
might
that
be
it
grasping
exists.
at straws. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, at
Well,
this
sure.
point, we're debating him on a topic he clearly doesn't understand. So,
Yeah, I
I
think you might
understand
couldn't
more
even-
than you, bro.
you couldn't
I'm just
even
following
give
physics.
us the basic tenets of spectrometry.
Let me just ask you
Spectroscopy.
something. So you guys are saying that you two guys on a TikTok live are more smart than thousands of scientists with PhDs. Is that
No,
what you're saying?
we're more smart than pretty much anybody that comes onto my panel and tries to defend the anonymous scientists that you're referencing, right?
Do you know what's funny?
Who
And
do
this is
who do you think I'm smarter than? Who are
you're
you
gonna find this
referencing?
funny. I've actually
No,
I like
answer my
going on
question.
flat Earth
Answer
lives like this,
answer my
and
question,
I
bro. Hey,
have got a
are you all right?
list.
Are you all right, bro? Do I have to mute you? Please don't
I'm
make me
alright,
mute you,
bro.
bro.
I'm alright.
Who do you think I'm smarter than? Or who
You
do you
think you're
think Caleb
smarter
is
than
smarter than?
the scientists that developed spectroscopy? You think
Name
you're smarter
one.
than
Name one. Name one
you think you're smarter than
scientist,
Isaac
bro.
Newton, Maxwell? You think you're
That was a
smarter than
philosopher at best. It
who
wasn't
was a
really
philosopher?
science. It would have been more categorized as philosophy back then. Yeah, it wasn't
Who?
quite.
Newton.
It hadn't quite reached. Yeah, it hadn't quite reached the scientific.
No, you're right, but that's
It
because
was
the
more
Christian
philosophical
church was
back then.
very
Did you know
big back
that?
then. They didn't
You
they didn't
okay?
believe in
So,
science.
okay. So I'm smarter than you think. I think I'm smarter than Isaac Newton. Yeah, yeah, actually. Because he
You
thought
think you're
gravity was
smarter
an
than
act of.
Newton?
Yeah,
Are
he
you
thought gravity
serious?
wasn't. Are you gonna interrupt me every time I talk? Are
No,
you okay,
just
bro?
talk.
He thought gravity was an act of God.
Okay. He still
He couldn't.
proved that gravity existed.
How did he do that?
He
He
actually went
used
further in that quote. He said that anybody that believes in his theory of gravity has no logical faculty of thinking.
Oh really, did he? Oh.
I didn't know
So
that.
You want me to pull up
Actually,
the quote for you?
wait, so the
I
world
need
just
that.
happened
Yeah.
to believe in gravity
Wait,
after
do,
that,
do you
even
want the
though
quote or do you don't want the quote?
show me the quote from a peer-reviewed paper, not on Google.
No, this was his direct quote from his writings.
Okay,
How
show
else am
me
I
that.
supposed to show it, you
Show
you
me
genius?
the actual manuscript,
The
handwritten
genetic
manuscript where it
fallacy.
said.
It's a
Pardon?
Just
genetic
Google it,
fallacy.
bro. Google
No,
what he
show
said
me
about
the
gravity. He said it's a
handwritten
direct act of
manuscript.
God, and he thinks that anybody that believes in it and it has no logical faculty of thinking. Literally.
No, show me the manuscript that proves that shows that quote that he wrote down. Because what you're going to do is you're going to search it up on Google, and you're going to see some small ass website when you scroll down, and you're going to see, oh
Hey,
shit,
watch your mouth, bro. What is
sorry,
your problem? Why are you acting like this, bro?
just our culture, bro. It's just how we are here in Australia.
No. I know Australians that don't cuss. You
I
can't
know
just blame an
Australians much
entire.
better than you, bro.
Hey,
I guarantee you that.
hey, are you okay? Like, you can't just incorporate an appeal to an entire continent every time somebody asks you to watch your mouth, right?
Yeah, I'll try and tone it down. You're right.
It's just odd that you would just blame it on your heritage.
Dude,
You
you
know,
should see me when I'm not on lives. That happens. Just
I
I'll
don't
try and
think I
tone it down.
want to. I don't
Yeah,
think
you
I
don't
want
want
to.
to. You don't
Do you
want to.
have
That's why.
evidence that the Earth is curving? Maybe. I feel like we've gotten pretty far away from the subject
Yeah,
now.
we have. I know. Well, firstly, about what we're talking about gravity. That is evidence in itself. The fact that gravity exists is evidence that the Earth is a
Wait,
sphere.
when
Because
did we get to the point in the discussion where we proved gravity?
so
I
you don't
missed
believe
that
in
part.
gravity.
Does gravity require belief? I would assume you'd have evidence of
Do
it
you no?
existing.
Do you think gravity is false?
I think the current mainstream narrative for what we classify as gravity in regards to downward acceleration is not true. Yes, but it's your positive claim is that gravity exists, so you're just obfuscating away from trying to provide evidence of that,
Well,
which
it's
you
not
seem to be
downward
making a habit
acceleration.
of.
It's
What?
not downward acceleration.
Oh no, it's not. Gravity's not downward acceleration anymore.
No, it's
What is it
acceleration
then?
towards a larger mass.
Where's the largest mass?
All
You
around
want me to
us.
read the quote, Jake?
Yeah,
Want me to
you
read
can
it?
read the quote.
It is inconceivable that innate brute matter should, without mediation of something else which is not matter, act upon and affect other matter without mutual contact. That gravity should be innate, inherent, and essential to, I can't see the side, the body may act upon another at a distance through a vacuum without the mediation of something else by which their action and force may be conveyed from one to another is so great to me an absurdity. I believe that it said, believe
I might need to screenshot this. Their action and force may be in philosophical matters. A competent faculty of thinking can ever fall into it. Yeah,
Why'd you
Isaac
skip
Newton.
the part where it literally says what
Here,
I was
I'll
saying?
go screenshot it since you're going to be a weirdo about it. Give me a sec, bud.
I can see it on your screen, bro. You don't need to
Yeah, you're-
screenshot it.
Well, he's gonna screenshot it so that it fits better. I have to do the same thing sometimes.
I see.
But if we're gonna get into the gravity discussion, you have to supply evidence of gravity. You can't just be like, "Oh, you don't believe it." You have to prove the negative claim for some reason. Like
You know what
that's
evidence
not
of gravity
how-
is?
You're
Grab
gonna
a,
tell me to drop something, aren't you?
well, similar. Grab a pen and grab another pen, and what I want you to do is, with one pen, throw it vertically, and with the other pen, drop it at the exact same
I'm
time,
aware
and they're
of
going to hit
downward
the floor at the same
acceleration.
time.
I'm aware of downward acceleration, bro. You're not proving cause. This is what you guys do. You guys have a 7th grade understanding of what you call gravity. You can't actually elaborate on it or do an experiment with it. You can't manipulate it. It's not an
How do
independent
you want me to
variable.
elaborate?
It's just
And what experiment do you want me to do? I can do whatever you want me to do to prove that gravity exists, and I'll
can you
do that.
isolate it as the cause?
What do you mean by that? Elaborate on that.
All right, I gotta get, dude. Caleb, do you have anything else for this guy? I'm kind of tired of him. I'm not gonna lie, bro. It's just burden shifting from you every single time. Like you tell me how to
Yeah,
prove
I can give you a
gravity.
little break. Yeah.
Alright.
Hold on. Let me give you a break because this is funny.
No, no worries, guys. I can jump off and let some other people go on. I see there's
No,
lots of
no,
requests.
you're good. No, you're good. You're good. You want to stay, or you can run. It's up to you. But here, we'll read the quote again. It is inconceivable that innate brute matter should, without mediation of something else which is not material, operate upon and affect other matter without mutual contact. That gravity should be innate, inherent, and essential to and essential to matter, so that one body may act upon another at a distance through a vacuum without the mediation of something else, by and through which their action and force may be conveyed from one to another, is to me so great an absurdity. The invite box popped up, dude. I believe no man who has in philosophical matters a competent faculty of thinking can ever fall into it. And this is Sir Isaac Newton in his third letter to Bentley on February 25th, 1693.
That's
If you want to go look
interesting.
it up for the exact manuscript.
Yeah, I will. I'll look into that. Thank you.
Nice,
But
dude. Good.
yeah, I'll look into that. But I'm just saying, like on a testable thing, you might not call it gravity, you might call it whatever, but we know, like for a fact, because we can test it, that when you drop a pen,
Does
it falls towards the
gravity
ground,
does
right? We
gravity
know that for a fact.
does gravity pre-assume that the Earth be a sphere?
Yeah, because on gravity
Okay,
acting
so
as a large enough scale compresses Earth from all sides. If Earth
this is
was
this is where the dilemma comes in. Like you're going with Newtonian dynamics, aren't you?
no, I'm just going with
No?
fucking
All right.
science.
You have a
bro.
nice
So-
day, bro. You don't even know what you're trying to do anymore. I'm sorry. Like just shut up. All the time. Just never speak ever again.
Let me
Bad
read
at
this
it.
quote real quick before we get the next guest up. I
Yeah.
want to read it just so he hears it. Oh, one sec.
Okay. Dude was a tool.
We teach our kids gravity. Why is it so messed up on yours, dude? These all work fine on
I'm
mine. This is so
telling you,
weird.
dude. I know.
Bro,
It's
what the
strange.
freak? We
TikTok
teach our kids
hates me,
gravity
bro.
sucks. Gravity sucks evenly. It pulls everything to the center, but then Einstein gave us a different picture. Gravity doesn't suck at all. We tell our students we lied to you. Gravity does not pull you to the floor. Space pushes you down. Why are you sitting in your chair today? Does gravity pull you to the floor? No. There's no such thing as gravitational pull. We lied to you. Yeah, I don't know what that guy's on. He doesn't know anything.
He's just in the chat saying we deny facts.
Of course he is.
Yeah, of course he is. It's actually predictable, bro. Like, if I was a gambling man, I would have put $100 that you would say something in pure frustration in my comments after getting dropped. Gravity sucks, alright, it does. I did have other guys. I didn't even want to leave him up here for that long because I had other people. And people like him, dude, I actually usually just replace them as soon as possible because it's just, there's no fruit-bearing conversation that you can have with people like that, typically.
The thing about him is he actually seemed to know somewhat, like if somebody knows what spectroscopy is, that's a good sign that you could just clown them, and they actually, you can take them down avenues where they're just going to get triggered and lose their mind.
Yeah, and then say that you deny facts.
What's up?
What's up, bro? Do you have evidence that the Earth is curving, moving?
Yeah.
Really?
do.
That's
Mhm.
good. What do you think?
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so flat earthers, right? Most of them tend to have the idea of like
Wait,
the
whoa. Evidence that the Earth is curving, bro. What are you talking about? Keep it chill, bro.
Oh, all right, bro.
Just do
All
that
right.
simple thing for me, and then you can strawman flat Earth all you want, and I'll correct you through the whole process.
How does a lunar eclipse work on a flat earth?
That's a
No,
question. That's not.
You got to go with globe evidence first, bro. I don't know. He said it twice, and now I'm saying it. Like, don't make us say it at a fourth time, dude.
I
Do you
can't
have any
just- I can't-
evidence that
alright,
the
I
Earth is
know.
round?
I know the question. I just want to ask you a question. I don't know if that's like a problem.
Yeah, you
Well,
can.
if you admit that
but,
you don't
like,
have globe Earth evidence, ask all the questions you want. Just admit you don't have any evidence that the Earth's a globe, and it's a
Okay,
religious
sure,
belief.
I'll do it for him to answer. I don't have any globe earth evidence. Now we answered the
Perfect.
question. How does a lunar eclipse work on a flat earth where the moon is a illuminescence source of light? If it's a ball of light, how does a ball of light cast a shadow?
What? How do you think a lunar eclipse works?
Yeah, what the fuck, bro? Yo, are you being serious or you're trolling? You got to be a flat earther, right?
Me? No, I'm not.
You know you're completely explaining a lunar eclipse wrong. You know that, right?
The moon casts a shadow on itself.
I'm dead, bro. Dude, I hear you're on a lot of flat Earth panels,
No,
and you
'cause
can't
how does-
describe
how
a
does a-
lunar eclipse
How
correctly.
do you get a shadow from a ball of light?
What?
You have a ball of light in front of another light source, and you get a shadow from the ball
Wait,
of light.
just rewind. Just rewind. How do
Okay,
you
okay.
think?
How about this?
Just,
How about this? How about this?
No, just don't freak out, bro. Calm down. On a globe Earth, right?
calm,
How
bro.
do you? Okay, on a globe Earth, how do you? What's your explanation for a lunar eclipse? Because I think I could steel man it. I know how a lunar eclipse is supposed to work on a globe Earth, but can you elaborate on how that works?
Okay, well, the moon is tidally locked with the Earth, and when
Okay.
why are you laughing?
You just had to throw the title locking in there. I think.
Yeah,
Complete
that
non
title
sequitur,
locking is like totally not relevant, not necessary to even say. That's why he's laughing.
Oh, okay, I just thought there was something funny, but I guess not. So yeah,
It
that
was
happens, and the moon aligns in front of the sun, and
What?
the sun.
What?
Can you repeat that? I'm actually curious if you can repeat that sentence the exact same as you just said it.
No,
I didn't think so.
The moon aligns in front of the sun. That's a new one. Yeah, I think you're banned from talking about lunar eclipses. Do you have another question? Maybe,
no, you didn't answer my question.
dude. You shit the bed. You
Like the way that you explain a lunar eclipse tells me and Sully that if we were to even try to explain it, you would be thinking about something totally different because you don't know what a lunar eclipse is and how it works.
So you're not going to explain it to me because I don't know the question I'm asking? That's what you just said?
Yeah,
You wouldn't get
that's-
it, so you're just gonna be like, nah, you're just
That's a
gonna appeal to
contradiction because
incredulity.
I'm asking a question about it, so that's a contradiction. I want to know something
Do you
about
have
it.
any
You can't tell me
other?
about
Do you
it?
have any other questions? Because this is, dude. You're. I'm not even. I'm just gonna say it bluntly. You're operating from a state of pure ignorance, and I'm not here to teach you what you believe, bro.
All right,
you
sure.
gotta.
Okay, so what evidence do you have of the moon landing was faked? Like, where's the
You
the
can't
studio?
have propulsion in a vacuum.
Well, there's
And-
also even better evidence. If you take the photos from the moon landing, take them into Photoshop and extract the EMF, it proves that it's artificial lighting. So the sun has a very specific signature, and it's not giving that signature in the photos from the moon. It's giving artificial lighting from multiple lights.
And what is EMF? What is that?
You don't know what
Imagine
EMF
having-
stands for?
No, that's why I'm asking you.
Are you being genuine?
Yes, that's why I'm asking.
You should stop going on to Flat Earth Lives or Globe Earth Lives, and you need to go educate yourself, dude. You're like you're like somebody that's read every other page of a physics book. You
can't
have
just
no
tell me what it
idea
is.
what anything is.
We could move forward if you just told me what it is.
Electromagnetic frequencies.
All right, thanks. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, visible
It's
and
light.
non-visible light.
Yeah, it's
All right,
light.
so wait, so where's the proof of where it was faked? Like, is there like a studio that was faked in? or-
What? You don't need to know. Running it through Photoshop and having it tell you that it's using what did you call it, Caleb?
Artificial lighting.
Artificial.
Okay.
Yeah, that word escaped me.
Where
That
was it
artificial?
faked?
Well, just the evidence is that it's artificial light. If it was coming from the sun, it wouldn't be artificial.
Okay.
You understand that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't need to know where they did it. It's that they did it, right?
So
Or no?
who did it? Who faked it?
Okay, just all the non sequiturs we can think
No, it's
of.
pretty-
You
it's
just
pretty
really,
simple.
you
Are you
really-
asking
really
like who
have
the
a-
director
It's
was?
very relevant questions. I think.
You're
Like,
asking
thank
who
you.
was the
Actually-
director of the fake moon landing?
Yeah,
Seriously?
Yeah, sure. Anything,
What does
yeah.
that matter? Even if we knew exactly who it was, what would that
Because-
matter?
No, the point of me asking is that because you don't know who did it, you don't know where it was
okay, so
happening.
It
you're
doesn't
just-
matter.
So this is you dude, you're fishing. You're grasping at straws to try to ask us any question that we could potentially not answer while simultaneously not providing any evidence of your claims. Prove that we did go to the moon. Prove that you can travel through a vacuum and have propulsion. Prove that there's a vacuum adjacent to a pressurized system with no barrier separating them.
If you understood basic logic, you wouldn't be asking this question because you'd know that the positive claim has the burden of proof. So
Okay, hold on.
you're committing a logical fallacy,
Okay,
which is called
okay,
shifting
okay,
the
okay,
burden
okay.
of proof. Do you have any
Okay.
evidence the moon landings are real?
Yeah. Okay, just to build off what you just said, the host, not to sidetrack on whatever you just said. You just said inside the container. How do you have all this like pressure and stuff,
No,
bro?
it's not what I said. Nope, not what I said at all. I'm
So-
gonna let you go. Actually, I think we're done here.
No.
No,
Later, bro.
Yeah. Actually, I thought we had another guest, but honestly, I was losing brain cells, bro.
There was a guest. His name was Eddie. He was just in the guest box, but it looks like he dropped out of it.
He's a flat earther. He's a flat earther. Now, even if this planet is flat or not, it doesn't effing matter to you. So your subjective opinion is what dictates reality now. Whew.
Bro is up here trying to defend the globe and can't even steelman a lunar eclipse, bro. What has this
know,
world
it's like-
come to, bro?
It's like, and apparently he's been doing this for a while. Apparently.
yeah, that's what Blue says. Blue, you could trust Blue, and Blue said he's on panels all the time. I totally believe it. Bro's
know.
trying to understand flat Earth and doesn't even understand globe Earth, dude. It's actually pitiful.
I know, it's like putting your socks on over your shoes, bro. It's just embarrassing. You shouldn't do it. Flat Earth Christians heap disrepute on the gospel. You're typing a lot of words that don't make sense. You'd recognize him, but he changed. I think I recognize the name.
Yeah,
to
the
be
name
honest.
Jules, I think I have seen him.
Yeah. Disingenuous flirts, pathetic. Okay.
Yeah, you better hit the guest box or you're banned. No, they muted him, dude. No, ban that guy. Block him. We don't need him here.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Whoa, you're okay. Do you have evidence that the Earth is a sphere, bro?
No guys, I'm with you. I just got back from the ice wall.
Would you give me a second to block you before I let you go?
Well, you
It'll
know
only
guys,
take
the
it'll only
big
take a
ice.
second, and it'll drop you for me. I don't need to respond to your. Yeah, that was corny. That was corny. I wonder where people like what do you hope to accomplish with that, you know?
Well, if anything, they're just accomplishing that they have no evidence, right? If they're just coming up and trolling, it just makes them look worse and worse.
It's so weird. Like you're doing the exact opposite of what you think you're doing. Can I get a one in the chat if that guy was not funny? Because I think they're trying to get like a laugh, but like you're in the wrong. You're appealing to the wrong crowd. You know, like look at all those ones. Like
The
it's the
only
wrong crowd, dude.
the only people that are gonna find that funny is like people like Tiffany and Mike, dude.
Oh, dude. Tiffany begging him to mod her when I was up there is like just so cringe, bro.
Dude, she's full blown like the cringiest Glober in the world, bro. For sure. That's why I always go after her the way I do, because she's just such a loser.
Yeah, I keep seeing Coda, but it's while I'm out working and I don't have a lot of time to like get into a debate with her. And she always usually has somebody on panel too, so but I keep seeing Coda. I've talked to Coda like once or twice before. It's honestly, dude, I don't even think you would have a good time. She's so like she's not good. Like, she would just talk
That's
through
my
you.
favorite though, dude. It's funny for everyone. Like Shift God, dude. What's the point in debating Shift God? He's an idiot.
I know. I recorded that whole thing and I was like, dude, do you want this? And you were like, no, dude, that was garbage. I was like, yeah, you're not wrong.
When
What's
I
up,
join a
Rizzy?
live like that, it's just pure comedy at that point. It's just for comedical
It was,
purposes.
dude. You turned the entire chat against him. We had like 180 flat earthers in there. It's bad. Rezi, are you there?
I am here.
Hey, buddy. Do you have evidence that the earth is a sphere?
Okay, so before you kick me off, I got to say something to Caleb. Caleb, I love your one-on-ones. You've been doing it for quite a while, and I appreciate them. And I've been putting them live on my Facebook and been getting quite a few people watching them as you're doing it. Funny thing is, I've kind of called or texted you to ask you about that, but I never got a response. You're so good at booting the flat earthers off your live that about 3 different times I didn't even stand a chance to get that appreciation out of my mouth. So I thank you, okay?
Appreciate it, dude. I hope that that's funny. Sharing it to Facebook. That's hilarious.
Well,
Does it
I
share
wrote-
it as like a live? Like they can actually see and watch live from Facebook?
Yeah, I got 171,000 followers on Facebook. That's where I make my mark as far as the flat earth community goes. Now you can kick me off. I'm a flat earther. Go ahead. Let me roll.
That's awesome, dude. Message me, bro.
Yeah.
Send me a message, dude. I want
I
to check out your
have.
Facebook page.
I have. You're one of them busy guys like me that doesn't get back to people. Because
Send me another, though. Like right after this live, send me one and I'll go look for it.
All right. Well, I'm P1000, by the way. This is just my dog's account that I'm using from time to time. So, but
Okay. Yeah. Send me another message and I'll go check it after this before I boot up my own.
I got some beautiful, undebeatable, undeniable 15-mile lake observations that have not been beat by any Globers yet. I'd like to show them to you and show you the facts on them. And you could do a thing with them and keep them in your log, in your toolbox.
Yeah, dude. No, yeah, definitely. We need to start communicating. Message me and I'll make sure I check it out.
Yeah, Soli, nice job. I love you guys been doing these one-on-ones and keeping it straight, not getting a whole group of people on here. And I see you got a lot of people watching on board. Appreciate you for not giving me the boot right away, but I'm a flat earther, so you give me the big old kick right now.
All right, take care of yourself, man. I'm gonna
Love
drop
you
your
guys,
follow,
love-
or I'm gonna follow your dog, I guess. This is flat. Okay, what's up, Third Eye?
Yeah, all the evidence is all the Facebook posts on the NASA page and the Artemis page. They're posting pictures of all Earth for the first time.
Where do we? We're just. You know what? I'll humor you, bro. What do I look up? I'm not. I don't have Facebook on my laptop, but do you have? Is there like a third-party source?
Did you see my X post, Solly?
Probably not.
It's going pretty viral right now, but I basically shows a full video of them basically putting like a rocket, like the part of a rocket on the side of the screen and then having a bunch of TV screens behind it, and that's how they make like movies, like space movies and stuff like that. Yeah.
I did
How
see
do we know the difference between them doing something like that and it being a real photo? How do we distinguish between the two? Third Eye.
Yeah. And let's try to like and share the live a little bit, guys. I don't want to run out of gas quite yet. Please. Yeah, Third Eye. Well, if it was, how do you decipher between like an actual photograph or some sort of like setup in any type of studio.
So you said the reflection is in the picture now from taken inside of the capsule.
I'm sorry, how would that prove anything?
It's
Want to show your evidence, bro? Show us the
Yeah, I
picture.
can look it up.
yeah. Look
I mean,
No, make him show it, because we don't want to chase unicorns. Show your picture, dude. Get it.
yeah, I'd rather not have that shit in my search history, to be honest.
do it. How do I share a photo?
I've seen all the
It's funny.
photos, and I have no idea what you're talking about. So go get your photo, dude.
Yeah, and it's funny because you say it's Facebook. Like, I don't know. There's just a level of humor that comes with that because who uses that shit anymore? Picture from the window shows an extremely beat up window frame with missing parts. Whoa. Thank you, Flat Earth. Shout out to you, bro. Are you digging through the internet, through the archives to?
I wasn't gonna do this, pal. So I'm sorry, can't do it. I just saw some photos. I thought it was.
You can't provide the evidence that you invoked?
Thanks.
That's not good. Why would you? Is your mic bad?
Shouldn't be.
I mean, it's kind of bad.
I think he's walking away
anything
from his
else?
phone or something.
No.
Yeah, it sounds like you're across the room.
So,
Do you have anything else that you think proves that? Do you have something scientific? Because like, no, that's it. Just pictures, and that's good enough for you. Yeah, when in doubt, start trolling. Fuck it, right?
What the fuck was that, bro? Started playing Halo music? What? That song's a banger, but what?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Shout out to everybody. Thank you guys for liking and sharing the live. P1000's back. I think Caleb will get back to you, bro. He gets back to people pretty consistently from what I know about him. So if you just message him, or if you have anything to say to me, you can DM me too. I respond to DMs as well. I'm not that busy that I can't do that. These people can't think. Globers?
Yo, P1000, I just messaged you. I followed you and I messaged you, brother.
Good shit. Here, I make sure. I think I am following him. No, I'm not. Okay, I lied. I'm sorry, bro. I followed you too. I think I do follow one of your accounts though, to be fair. But that could be somebody else. You might not be the only person with that name. Anyway, what's up, ABC? What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, bro? Do you have evidence that the Earth is curving?
No, so look, technically right now I would say I am like a globalist or whatever, but I'm like open to the idea of it being flat. The one
What's
thing,
making you yeah? What's there's usually one thing. Yeah. What is
yeah,
it?
so there's like I would say there's two big things that I've seen. So like the experiment that people do where they have the device that is X amount of feet above the ground and they're measuring it from sea level, and then
Like a theodolite?
Talking
What
about
do
a
you
total
mean?
station, a theodolite, an auto level. What are you
I
talking
think it's
about?
I think it's the total station with the auto level. And then
Those are
let's say
two different pieces of equipment.
okay, well then I'm not sure. Let me just describe it best I can. Let's say they set up a station, and then a mile away they set up another station, and then they're able
Reciprocal
to
zenith angles.
yeah, and they're able to measure like if there's a difference in height, and that's how they technically measure the curvature. I think there was one that like okay, well there was like one oh go ahead.
No. Continue, because I want to make sure I attack the full extent of your argument.
Okay.
Not attack, but you know what I mean.
So there was like one thing that went viral, and it was like flat earthers that did a documentary to go prove that the earth was flat, and they conducted this experiment, and then they proved it themselves wrong because they weren't able to see the light.
Yeah, but hey, listen, bro. Do you ever wonder why the only flat Earth experiments that go viral are the ones where they allegedly prove themselves wrong? Because there's a lot of
Wait,
experiments where we. Yeah, go ahead.
Is he are you talking about something like this the surveyors use?
Let me see. Yes. Yeah, I think that's yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so they take that dip, like if they were measuring to that first observer right there with the other total station, they take that dip and assume it's curvature, but you'd expect that dip on a flat Earth as well, just due to angular resolution.
What's angular resolution exactly?
It's the resolvability of angles.
Okay.
It's like if you put your hand in front of your face and you move your hand away, your hand appears to get smaller. It doesn't actually get smaller, but it appears to. Eventually, your hand would shrink to a tiny dot. Yeah, thanks, Caleb. Obviously, if
Yep.
you have an object in the distance, it's going to shrink, and that'll change. It'll actually sometimes shrink to a point where the object itself, typically they use like a building or a mountain or something, and then sometimes it'll shrink to a point where the crosshair of the optic drops below or appears to rise above the object that they're measuring. Am I making sense? Like it'll shrink to a point where the crosshair will be above it.
Okay.
And then of course you also have like refraction as well.
And this also begs the question of what they assume when they are doing surveying. They assume the Earth is flat for 100 square miles, and the farthest that you can do a survey is about 1,000 feet. So with it being extremely accurate, you have to measure from 500 to 1,000 feet. And if they're assuming the Earth's flat for 100 square miles, yeah, you're just measuring a flat Earth. So
Okay, got it.
And this is for all of engineering, all of infrastructure, bridges, pipelines, tunnels, all that stuff. Like we assume flat, measure flat, and then tell people that the Earth is a ball anyway, even though, there's no
Right.
evidence of that.
And then the other thing, so there was so I was reading up on this today, like, okay, so what is the flat earthers theory on solar eclipses? And from what I've seen, it's like
Solar?
there's different sorry, solar eclipses. And from what I was reading, like obviously different flat earth communities, they have different theories. What is your guys' theory on what causes a solar eclipse with a flat
I
earth?
want to show you one thing real quick. Even if you just look up plane surveying definition by Merriam-Webster, ordinary field and topographical surveying in which the curvature of the Earth is disregarded.
read the next
Okay.
sentence too. Read the next sentence
Oh.
too. It's money.
It is used for smaller areas. I'm sorry, it's blurry. I can't really. Treating the Earth's surface as a flat plane. This method is typically used for construction and topographic mapping. And this is not the only source that you will see that around. They always have to assume it's flat. Because like Caleb said, they measure it in small increments, typically 500 to 1,000 feet. And that is simply to guarantee precision and accuracy. But anyway, lunar eclipses, bro. I don't have an honest answer to give you, but I know that the globe's explanation doesn't make a lot of sense. The shadow doesn't come in at the right angle. The shadow sometimes changes color, like it sometimes has a reddish hue. Of course, shadows can't have color. That's the absence of light. It also pre-assumes gravitational orbit. It pre-assumes sphericity of all of the objects, that being the sun, the moon, and the Earth. It's a lot of begging the question fallacies. It's not evidence
There's two
that we
other-
live on a sphere. Oh, go ahead.
There's two other things that I'd bring up as well. Our ancestors that were all assuming that the Earth was flat with a firmament overhead, they all assumed that it was some type of black body like Rahu or Ketu. And also we have lunar eclipses that are impossible, which are called impossible eclipses or selenilian eclipses, where one observer sees the sun and the moon both in the sky on the horizon. And it's a geometric impossibility for us to be in between them casting a shadow if we're seeing both of them in the sky, right?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Right.
And to make it work on the globe, they have to assume that we're not actually seeing the sun or the moon, and they're reflecting or refracting thousands of miles into the observer's view, but they look exactly like they are just there because they are just there.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty crazy, obviously.
And then Globers say that we're crazy for saying that specular reflections happen off the firmament when they believe that the sun refracts thousands of miles.
Caleb, do you have a theory then for flat Earth? What would cause the lunar eclipses?
I would lean towards something like Rahu or Ketu, like physically like a black body that we can't see obstructing. That would be, or something like the black sun. People will also say like that the sun or the moon are projected from the center of the earth and something is eclipsing it from there, causing the shadow. There's a lot of theories, but at the end of the day, it's just guesses. It's just theories with anything with the sky. Joseph Hanvey is requesting. I'm gonna bring him up because this dude's a freaking legend. Real quick, let's see what he's got to say. He's a flat earther, but this guy has literally modeled the 24-hour sun and the southern celestial pole on a small scale model. I'm always shouting him out.
What's up, fellas?
Yeah, shout out
Dude,
to you,
first
bro.
time talking, I think. What's up, Joe?
Oh, not much. Just figured I'd jump in. I have a demonstrable lunar eclipse theory. So inside of a scaled down model, assuming a flat surface and a dome structure, when the full moon and the sun caustic zone intersect at the ecliptic plane, you get the lunar eclipse. It's a lensing effect of two light sources. The sun's caustic zone is going to be in the far red, which is what gives us the red color of the lunar eclipse.
Tell us, because I don't know what you mean, genuinely. What do you mean by the caustic effect? What are you saying there? The coffee cup caustic, or what are you talking about?
Yeah, so
That's what.
inside of a container, you're going to get a coffee cup caustic. So the
Okay,
sun,
that was just making sure, yeah.
yeah, the sun creates its own caustic zone inside of the container. And due to Rayleigh scattering, which is going to scatter the light from the blue to the red, and at that distance, it's into the far red. So when the moon's white light shines through that caustic zone, it gives you a lensing effect, causing the light to appear red.
That's really. I never, dude. A million years could have passed, and I never would have even considered such a thing. It's actually very, very out of the box.
I can physically demonstrate it, and not only that, it accounts for the 90-degree turn of the shadow. It accounts for like the double shadow where it starts out black and then it turns red. So I mean, it's not saying that I'm 100% right. I'm just saying I have a demonstrable theory in
Have you
a model.
have you gone as far as to model it out yet? Like, is it on YouTube or
Yeah.
have you not?
Yeah,
done it?
yeah. All of
Yes.
it's there. It's money, dude.
Yeah, it's on my TikTok and my YouTube. I'm working on
Okay.
doing
Shout out to Joe. Is your YouTube in your bio?
I don't know. Maybe.
His YouTube's
put it
just
in your
Joseph
bio.
Hanby, right? You just look up Joseph
Yeah.
Hanby, it'll pull up.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody go to Joseph Hanvy's YouTube for explanations on observable phenomena in our sky. Sorry, bro. Go ahead.
That's all good. That's just my theory. My theory is that when the full moon and the sun's caustic zone, which is in the far red, intersect on the ecliptic plane is what causes the eclipse, the lunar eclipse.
Interesting. Well, thank you, bro. That helps a lot.
Yeah, I figured I'd jump up and say that because that's I mean, I can demonstrate it, so that gives it a little bit of credibility. And the science is there when you have Rayleigh scattering, where
Well,
the
it
light.
immediately gives it more credibility than the globe's explanation, because when you cast a shadow from a sphere onto another sphere, it doesn't even behave that way. So, you already have a more credible explanation than the globe has, like, undoubtedly. And of
Yeah.
course, you can't have a red shadow. So, like, their explanation doesn't make any sense at all. And,
Yeah, so technically it's not really a shadow, is I guess ABC is the guy who asked the question. It's a lensing effect of two light sources within the enclosure.
I like that better than just the ominous black whatever in the sky. So
Yeah, I'm
that's
not really with the K2 and Rahu. I look at K2 and Rahu as nodal points on the ecliptic plane. Like if people want to call these intersecting points K2 and Rahu, I'm cool with that. But K2 and Rahu are technically the severed body and head of a serpent deity, celestial serpent deity. So I'm not really on that boat.
No, I'm not either. I just brought it up as like an alternative explanation. Obviously, people like flat earthers can give multiple explanations, like the black sun and all these different things. But I definitely would lean towards your model, obviously, and I suggest it all the time for sure.
Yeah, I've heard you mention it many times, so I appreciate it. But I'm gonna keep working on stuff and keep trying to model. But I mean, it's interesting that we can physically model. We can model contained level water. We can model ocean currents. We can model Noah's flood. We can model tides. We can model star trails, 24-hour suns, sunrises, sunsets. The globe can't even model water sticking to a tilted, wobbling, corkscrewing, spinning, careening oblate spheroid. So
You seen Globey's video of him spitting water on a ball?
I saw it the other day.
Yeah, it's pathetic.
And the water's
man.
dripping off the bottom, dude. It's so funny, bro.
Somebody else made a video similar to that. They had a basketball, and he took a spray bottle of water, and he was spraying it with water, and he's like, "Look, the water's sticking to it, but there's clearly water dripping off of it."
Oh, that was that Blaine
And
dude. That Blaine guy.
I didn't look at who it was, but I read the comments, and somebody was like, "Yeah, why is there water falling off of it?" And somebody just politely responded with gravity, and it's like, but that's what you're supposed to be trying to demonstrate, though. You can't say gravity is what's pulling water off the ball when gravity is what's supposed to be holding water to it. Like, these people just don't know how to do anything. It's so sad. Everything's so circular with these people, man. But I do have one other person, at least. I want to try to get through the guests if I can. ABC, do you have any other?
Yeah, I was gonna say one last thing. So what? All right, what's up with meteors? Where do they come from? Are they beyond the firmament, like breaking through that? Are they within? What's up with that?
What's interesting about meteors is you'll never see them go from the horizon up. Because I lived in the desert for quite some time, and I saw a lot of shooting stars, and I never saw them going from, like, if this was your horizon, I never saw them coming up from the horizon. You only ever see them going down towards it, which I think is a statistical improbability if we're supposed to be standing antipolar to one another on a spinning ball. Like, we would see some meteors going in all directions all the time, but we only ever see them go towards the horizon. Or you could call them shooting stars, call them whatever you want. But as far as meteor crash sites go, we only really have just like holes in the earth. We don't. They even claim that a lot of the meteorite itself evaporates because of the heat, so there's nothing left. That's coincidental. I think that's a hell of a coincidence. But as far as like where they come from, if there is stuff falling from the sky, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a combination of elements, like kind of bonding together, because maybe like the temperatures in the atmosphere, and then it becomes a solid and just like comes towards the earth. That could be something that takes place. It doesn't necessarily have to be part of the firmament. Like, it would be something similar to hail, but I don't know. I don't have like a definitive answer for that. But like I said, their explanation for them coming at us from all angles on a sphere doesn't make a lot of sense either, because they only come from the sky down, not from the horizon up, you know?
Right.
Yeah,
But
I lean towards what you're saying there, Sully.
what, the part about like metals in the sky, or elements in the sky rather?
Yeah, well, personally, I believe there's a superfluid ceiling at a certain point. What that point is, I don't know.
Right.
There seems to
Yeah.
be evidence for it, and one of the main evidence for it is horizontal lines of equipotential voltage. You need two 3D Gaussian surfaces. Those Gaussian surfaces need to be level. So, and we see everything layer out. I mean, from sediments to gases to everything. So at some point, I believe a superfluid
Exactly.
ceiling starts, and superfluids are super cold. So you could have oxygen forming into a solid at that ceiling and mixing with like calcium and other elements. And then cyclically, as the sun passes over and warms up those spots, those chunks of solid oxygen fall off. As they come back through the atmos, the heat ignites them and causes those bright, brilliant colors, and they burn off before they hit the ground.
Yeah, I'm stealing that, buddy. For sure, I'm stealing that.
Yeah, it's only something that I've like recently started entertaining the possibility of. Nobody really, I don't forget who gave me the idea, but it makes a lot of sense. So yeah, I mean it's better than saying I don't know. And it's just a theory at the end of the day, because God knows they won't tell us what any of this shit is. But yeah,
All right, cool. Well, I appreciate you guys.
yeah, man, take care of yourself, bro.
Hey, later, Joe.
Oh, that's the guy, the other guy.
Oh, I thought Joe said that. Sorry. My bad.
Yeah, Joe, you can stay if you want. But you don't have to. It's up to you, bro.
Yeah, I'll hang out for a few. I'm not doing
Okay.
anything at the moment.
What's up, Kyle?
Hey, how's it going?
What's
I'm
up, man?
actually.
Do you?
Go ahead, sorry.
Well, I was gonna ask you. Do you think the Earth is a sphere? And if so, why?
Um, I'll be honest, I do. I don't have a real strong reason other than lifelong indoctrination, obviously.
I
I
like
actually,
that answer. Actually, okay.
um, I actually follow a lot of Caleb's lives. I always tell him, I always Venmo him and tell him I'm his favorite Globie.
Dude,
Oh, that's
Kyle, dude,
you.
I love
That's
you,
you.
buddy.
That's
Yeah, that's
you.
me.
Okay.
Um,
Well, we
so
gotta get you on board, bro. We gotta get you. I don't know. We gotta say something to you. So
well, I think,
what brings you here?
yeah, actually, I was just watching because I like to pause in and watch from time to time whenever Caleb's on, or people who can intelligently speak about their beliefs rather than just say something because they think it or because they believe it for no scientific reason.
Hmm.
But something that Caleb does a lot is he references Joseph Hanvey a lot, and so since he's in here, I just my biggest thing was listening right now to the explanation for a possible theory of the eclipse. The thing that to me at least is one of the things that I always point to or think about when I think about why I think the Earth is a sphere is that there's so much stuff that is, to me, because I'm not educated enough in the field, seems so crazy that we can with pinpoint accuracy we can predict location on the Earth where there's going to be, and time on the Earth where there's going to be an eclipse, right? And of course, Caleb talks all the time about how the universe and space is a clock. But does that also then mean that everything that's happening inside the globe or inside
Flat Earth.
the flat Earth, yeah, inside the firmament,
Yeah,
is also
it's
operating
just
under that same time frame? Like how
of
can they?
course, yeah.
Yeah,
It's just kinematics. You study the
Cool.
motion of the
Yeah,
sun.
it's just
Yeah,
cyclical.
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a
Everything is on
kinematic and
a
dynamic
everything.
equivalence.
Yeah, and when you make they call it a prediction for eclipses, but it's a straw man of what it is. It's a post-diction. It's not. It doesn't happen after the fact, but because it's happened before, we're predicting something that we already know when it's going to happen. Essentially, it just comes down to getting it down to the exact minute. But these things have been happening for decades, centuries, thousands of years potentially. So it's not really a prediction at that point. Like Caleb said, they're cyclical, which means they're on cycles. They repeat
right.
themselves. So
So
eventually,
like,
every so often, they're gonna overlap each other.
yeah, and like a good example of this is that our ancestors, like the Mayans and the Egyptians, which were depicting the Earth as flat, were predicting eclipses within minutes of when they would happen, right? And then they would say, "This proves their God." They're like, "Hey, we know this eclipse is coming, and we're gonna say, hey, our God is gonna block the sun because you're being bad," or whatever they would do. But flat earthers have been predicting eclipses for thousands of years.
Right. So in Joseph, in your theory of the caustic zone of the sun interacting with the light of the moon, would that also be something that given this, I guess, the rotation of the sun and the earth inside the firmament in your model would also be able to be clockwork and hammered down to exact locations and timing? I guess my question here is that something that is equally possible on both a flat and globe Earth model?
Well, personally, I don't think it's possible on a globe model as far as the overall details, but mathematically, I mean, you can build anything mathematically. I think one of my favorite quotes is from Tesla, where he talks about scientists of his day going through equation and building a false reality that doesn't reflect true reality. But as far as predictions go, I'm not sure if you're aware of Shane St. Pierre, but
I'm not.
he showed how we can mathematically predict it. He had a $10,000 bet with, I believe it was Mordwan, and he won because he was able to show that we can mathematically post-dict, really, the the lunar eclipse in the flat Earth model. That being said, in the heliocentric model, I hear quite often, oh, they predict it down to the minute. Well, they don't predict it down to the minute until we get very close to it. If you watch, their predictions will change slightly the closer we get, and they'll narrow it down more and more.
Oh,
You should,
interesting.
Kyle, you should check out Shane and Alan's work in their celestial theodolite arguments. They basically take the occultation times of stars from tall buildings or from big mountains and stuff like that and assume a flat Earth and a globe Earth. And a flat Earth is always by a factor of usually like 7 degrees more accurate.
Really?
Yeah, that's. I can actually. I can probably send you their YouTube channels because I follow them, and they're on Twitter as well, or X, whichever you
Yeah,
prefer to
you
call it.
know I'll hook you up too, Kyle. If you want to message me, I'll lead you to the information for sure. But it's
Yep.
very, very interesting. It's extremely complex. Shane and Alan, I don't know their background, but they can do math. Like they have also reverse mathematically engineered and shown that the angular resolution of our eye matches the radius of the Earth. So it's 3,959. From the angular
Oh, really?
resolution of our eyes, like the resolvability with distance.
Well, that's crazy.
Yeah, they're very, very, very intelligent people.
That's why I always say like the globe was reversed engineered based on observations of the sky, which is given to us by the angular resolution of our eye, right?
Right. Awesome. Well, hey, I don't want to take up too much more of you guys' time. I appreciate you all. And again, I appreciate speaking with people who are vastly more intelligent about specific topics like this than I am. It's something that gives me a lot of stuff to be able to think about and to study on. So for sure, I'll start looking into some more of this other stuff too.
I appreciate you more,
appreciate-
Kyle.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we appreciate people like you that just I don't know, you have the ability to think about this. You're playing devil's advocate. That's what I really like about it. Is you're just playing sort of playing both sides and just going with what the evidence suggests. That's the route, bro. That's the path you want to take.
Well, I appreciate all three of you guys. Hey,
Yeah, likewise, man. Take it easy, bro.
absolutely.
Let me see. This guy's been in my requests for a long time. He probably left already. Shout out to Kyle. What's up, Southern? Are you there, bro?
Well, guess what? I lost my audio. I'll have to reboot. I'll be back.
Okay. That sounds fair. You dropped me a follow. I appreciate it. Sorry if you guys can hear my roommate in the background. He's on a different live. What's up? Is it Jorge?
Yeah, either or, man.
What's up, bro? Do you
What's up?
believe the Earth is a sphere? And if so, why?
Yeah, I believe it just based off of experience that I've had flying and traveling.
Where have you flown?
So I've actually taken a flight down from LAX to Santiago, Chile. It takes about, depending on like, I think about 15 hours roughly. And then from there to Sydney takes 15 hours.
7 followers. I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm being trolled. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I mean, if you look at the flat Earth model, like
which
subequatorial
flat Earth
commercial
model?
flight,
Hey,
like
why are you not like why are you not acting like a mature person? Which flat
What do you
Earth
mean?
model?
well,
Which flat Earth model?
I don't know them by name, but usually
Oh, you
when they
don't.
show
Oh, you don't.
no
So
no
you compared it to a model that you wouldn't recognize if you saw it again. Basically, that's what you're doing.
yeah, no, I would.
Oh, really?
I mean,
Can you bring
do you
it
want
up?
to
Perhaps? Can you can you show me?
do you want to pull one up? I don't. I'm on a phone, man.
I don't use a model. That's why I'm asking you. Like, what model did you compare it to? Because I don't use a model of the Earth. I don't
So
believe we have such a thing.
so when we're talking about like how the spherical uh map
How did
of the
How long did you say that the flight took you?
like about 15 hours.
How many miles do you think that was?
I don't remember that.
No.
But if you look at the flat Earth, there's no way
No,
that
we're
could
not.
take
We're not
15
looking
mile
at that though.
15
Just
miles,
slow down. Hey,
15
buddy,
hours, man.
maturity. Hey, maturity, bro. Maturity. It's all right.
All right.
Just act like an adult. I'll keep you up here. All right.
Yeah, sure.
So, if the airplane is traveling at roughly 300 to 500 miles an hour for 15 hours, how much curvature do you think it would have to adjust for in the duration of that time?
I don't know that.
The whole
I mean,
problem
I
with
know.
this argument, Jorge, is we don't make a claim in linear distance from the 2 points. We don't know the miles, so we don't know the time that it would take. So you're attacking a straw man.
Yeah, I could see how you could say that.
It would be a factual statement, and quite frankly, I'm kind of sick of it because it seems like I don't know if I even believe that you actually took this flight because I have friends of mine that have booked this flight and it's like after upon the time of booking the flight, it no longer becomes a one-way flight. It almost
Okay.
always has a stop or a layover in one place or another.
The
So,
majority of them, but there are nonstop flights.
what was your? I mean, even if we entertain this,
Like a
how do
picture
you
from the
think?
flight?
From the flight?
Yeah, did you take any pictures?
Yeah, I mean, like just on the plane, but yeah, I don't know how that's gonna prove anything.
Can you show us the picture that you took?
It would give you
Uh,
some validity.
you know what? Wouldn't it be like easier to say what makes me think
Wouldn't it
that?
be easier to just satisfy burden of proof and shut me up?
Just prove to us that you've been on a plane. Just show me a picture of you from your photo album real quick. You should be able to pull it up
Or
really
you
fast.
know what? Show us a shirt. Certainly, you took pictures when you were there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
In those locations,
of
yeah.
course,
Like you
obviously,
should.
yeah.
Yeah, you should
You
show
show
us
us one?
those. We want
Uh,
to see a selfie of you with like some
yeah,
tourist attraction
as
in
you
the
can tell by my
background.
profile pic, I don't even put my real face on that, dude. So
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Why are you
yeah,
unanimous?
unanimous.
So, are you familiar with like flight dynamics?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
So
Yeah, that plane that you flew on assumed that the Earth was flat and stationary the entire time.
yeah, that plane that you claim claim you flew on. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I could see how then my argument that it's a sphere is probably not going to be it. And really the only thing I was
Yeah,
arguing
it's
against that,
anecdotal at best. I mean,
yeah. The only thing that I was thinking that would be a valid argument is that not that it's a sphere, but that what I usually see on these lives where people are saying that it's flat, it definitely couldn't be possible. Subequatorial like commercial flights would not be possible. They would take way too long.
Again, you're assuming that you're assuming the distance on flat Earth that we do not have. Nobody's measured in miles the distance between continents over the ocean.
So you're saying then that like going from like Chile to Australia, like the plane goes faster than like from Chile to LAX? Because on one of those drawings, it just clearly
we're not
shows how
making. Do
you
you
either
not
make this huge
understand?
arc
Oh,
or you go
you
through.
don't have maturity anymore. What happened to it? Do you not understand like the positive claim, negative claim thing? Like, do I have to explain
Yeah,
that to you?
I think I shifted more towards like what I am refuting versus what I'm not refuting, or what I am
What
trying
are
to.
you refuting? A model that we don't claim? Brilliant.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Now
So I'm
what?
probably in the wrong life.
Yeah, maybe you should go attack flat earthers that'll waste their time with you. I would
Yeah.
recommend that.
All right, dude.
Or you could try
I'll
to prove that the surface of the Earth is curving, or that the Earth itself is in motion, and we could get into some science real quick instead of anecdotal allegories.
Yeah. All right. I'll leave it to you guys.
Yeah, you don't want to talk science. I got you.
Yeah. No. I mean, I'm not qualified for it.
Nah, I know that. You don't got to say it, bro. I'm sorry, my roommate's being really loud in the background. He's in the room right next to mine. I'm gonna have to mute whenever I can. What's up, Southern?
We can barely hear anything. It's really not there.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Dude, that means a lot because he's a Drama Live frequency. I can't wait to leave this house. To be honest, it's annoying. What's up, Southern?
How y'all doing?
Welcome back, brother. Seems like your audio issues are.
I don't know what it doesn't do it every time, but probably at least 3 out of 5 times when I go on a live, it shuts my audio down and I got to reboot. I don't know what the problem is, but
That's
anyway.
okay. So what brings you here, buddy? Do you have evidence that we live on a sphere?
Do I have evidence?
No.
No, I don't. I don't have no evidence. I'm not a science guy. So you guys are flat earthers, right?
That is what we're here for.
Okay. I'm just curious to ask some flat earth people what they think of this trip to the moon that NASA's, the rocket that's launched here. I'm just curious to what you guys think about that.
Well, in order to launch a rocket, you have to assume that the Earth is non-accelerating and non-rotating. So, in order to have like any type of orbital mechanic or rocket mechanic, like you have to have what's called a real inertial reference frame, which is where you assume that the Earth is, you assume the coordinate system of the Earth is non-accelerating and non-rotating. That coordinate system, of course, is the latitude and longitude lines of the Earth itself. So, we assume the Earth is non-rotating and essentially in a state of rest before we even launch a rocket. So we're already working against the theory that the Earth is like orbiting and spinning and all of these things anyway.
So do you guys think this is a hoax?
Are you familiar with the second law of thermodynamics?
The law of thermodynamics. Yeah, a little bit, but I'm not an expert on it, but I know a little bit about it. I mean, not enough to be dangerous, I guess.
So a rocket in a vacuum is a violation of the second law of thermodynamics.
Yeah. All right, I didn't come up here to argue with you guys. I was just wanting to know what your opinion was and what you thought about it.
Well, you're asking us questions and we're just answering them. Like, you can't have propulsion in a vacuum. That negates Newton's third law of motion. And Joe is also correct in saying that you can't have a vacuum adjacent to and in contact with a pressurized system. That defies entropy. That goes against everything we know about thermodynamics.
So what's going to happen when that thing orbits the moon and comes back and they have all these pictures?
Pictures are literally the least credible source of evidence. In fact, they even oftentimes get thrown out of court cases. So I don't think that's a problem. And like I said, it wouldn't be able to propel itself in a vacuum. That defies Newton's third law. And it wouldn't be able to go to a vacuum because you can't have a vacuum next to the pressurized system that we're breathing from. So, and to answer your question, do I think it's a hoax? To some extent, yeah. But I wouldn't particularly choose that word.
What word would you choose?
I just disagree with it. I disagree with the physics. I disagree with the science of it. It's not scientifically possible. It's not physically possible. And again, you have to assume that the Earth is in a state of rest before you launch a rocket. So,
I mean, I agree with that. When you watch that thing get up there in the atmosphere, it's like, I mean, I have to agree with you on that, but
yeah, it goes up and then it arches, it curves, and it goes towards the Atlantic.
Yeah, I mean,
And
because they were going to
claim Go ahead.
Yeah, it was arching because they're gonna orbit the Earth a couple times and then go to the moon.
Yeah, they claim that, but then nobody in Europe sees it, and nobody in any Eastern continent sees it. And you could claim that it's so far away or whatever, but I don't know. I just think it's interesting that something could orbit the Earth twice, and we have no real evidence of that. Why didn't they take pictures and videos of it orbiting the Earth twice?
They have.
Where? Because the pictures that I saw were when it was already leaving the Earth.
Well, you know, it's kind of hard to believe everything you see on YouTube. I mean, I have seen some pictures from NASA where they were orbiting the Earth and saying this is what Earth looks like, you know, orbiting the Earth. So I mean, I know. I mean, I'm kind of on the fence. You know, I'm not a glober and I'm not a flat earther. I mean, I don't know. I'd be the first to
putting a
admit I
rocket-
really don't know. But
Putting a rocket in the sky wouldn't prove the shape of the Earth. I mean, you experience the Earth as if it's flat and stationary every day of your life, man. You do. Since the day you were born. You just never felt the Earth move. You never really saw it curving. We don't experience the Earth as if it's a sphere.
But you have to ask the question: why would NASA put on a show like this? If it's a hoax,
Well, they have a serpent's tongue as their logo, bro. I think they worship Satan. I'm pretty sure
They're paid to. They get $100 million a day. That's pretty good reason.
Yeah, and they lied about the moon landing already. Why would you trust them this time? You know? I mean, I just don't. I don't trust like government agencies to tell me what's going on. And NASA's website is nasa.gov. They're a government funded agency.
I can provide you with 15 declassified NASA documents for aeronautics, from rockets to helicopters to airplanes to everything that flies, saying that they assume the Earth is flat and stationary.
Yeah. I think if you even Google like flat non-rotating Earth document, like a bunch of them actually do come up.
I've done all that stuff. I really have.
Oh, okay. Well, that reaffirms my point then. In order for them to even launch a rocket, they have to assume that the Earth is flat and stationary. Why do you think they'd have to assume that if that wasn't actually the case? And that doesn't just go for rockets. That's airplanes, helicopters, everything. Even if you want to fly a drone, you have to assume the Earth is flat and stationary, bro. Like, it doesn't work if you assume the Earth is in motion or curving. It literally wouldn't work.
Could you guys be missing something?
Could you?
Yep.
I don't mean to answer your question with a question.
Absolutely. I am, you know what? Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, could I? Yeah, in good faith, I'll answer your question with a yes, but I've also been a flat earther for 10 years. I think everybody on panel, I'm pretty sure, has been a flat earther for quite some time. We look into this stuff pretty thoroughly before we arrive to a conclusion. You know, like we don't just watch a YouTube video that says the Earth is flat. Trust me, bro.
Well, I've not done that either. I've watched a lot of these lives. I've looked at it hard and went back to hundreds of years ago.
Has anybody told you yet that water always seeks its level?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
You'll hear that argument a lot, right? Water always seeks its level, and of course, well, large bodies of water at rest.
I mean, I was a boat captain for about 10 years, so
yeah, flat water, man. Did you ever feel like you were sailing upside down or sideways?
No.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think that doesn't, like, you can't make water stick to a ball. You can't make that happen. You certainly can't spin the ball. Like, none of this is recreatable, is my point. All of the claims that the globe makes aren't actually something that we can recreate or scale down. So that's why I don't really believe in it. When I can take water in a cup and just put it somewhere, and I know that it's going to sit there unless another forks.
But isn't that kind of like comparing apples to oranges?
No, it's comparing science with reality. It's testing the claims.
If you were a boat captain, you should understand radar, and radar sees way too far, buddy. Way too far.
Good point.
Yeah. I had a radar on my boat. It was 28 mile.
Oh God, that's over 300 feet probably, at least, of curvature drop.
You shouldn't be seeing boats on radar from that far.
Or no, that would be no. You said 200 or 28 miles. 28, yeah, 28 miles. That'd be at 20 miles. It's like what, 260 or something like that.
Yeah, at 20 miles, it's 266 feet. I don't know exactly what at 30 miles.
Yeah. Okay. So you're roughly at least 300 miles of dip. And the interesting thing about radar is that it would travel in a straight path away from you. Or well, okay, if we were on a sphere, your radar would have to go. I'll make myself bigger. I'm sorry, my roommate's. He's so annoying.
Well, I know that.
Well, just hear me out, because I'm going to lose my train of thought with the background noise. It's very distracting. It's okay. Your radar would have to go around the curvature of the Earth a certain distance. My friend in the chat says 500 feet. So there'd be a 500-foot drop, okay? And then it would ping off of a boat or a mountain or a rock or something, right? And it would have to bend back up over an additional 500 feet in the opposite direction. That's what your radar would have to do in order to give you a ping, right? When I'm telling you that water always seeks its level, and it's more than likely that your radar is just going doop, straight back, straight forward, straight back. I think that's much more logical. I think that's more practical. And you'll find that the globe Earth lacks practicality. Like, some of these things just aren't practical. They're not things that we can demonstrate, or you sort of have to just kind of believe that that's what's happening. When on a flat Earth, it's like I can demonstrate that would happen because light tends to travel in straight lines, more or less. So,
well, I know that they had right there where I docked my boat or launched my boat that there was a Coast Guard station there, and they have these big, huge towers there, and they would say that the reason they're so tall is to allow for the curvature of the Earth. So
no.
Well, just get a better signal. The higher that you put a radio tower or an emission dish, like you just get a better signal from higher attenuation. It's an easier angle, so the signal will be more clear. It's not for the curvature of the Earth.
Right. I'm just telling you that's what they said.
Right. No, I definitely understand the claim. Yeah, I've heard it.
Yeah, that's probably what they that's probably the impression that they're under as well. They
so what is I'm almost 70 years old, but I probably won't see it in my lifetime. But you guys sound like you're fairly young, so maybe in your lifetime there will come a day where you can get on a ship or a plane or some kind of spaceship, and you can get on board and take a ride around the Earth and find out the truth.
Well, are you talking about? I don't
maybe
think that's. Yeah, maybe.
I mean, the only way to really find out the truth is to get up there and see it for yourself. And the only people that I know of right now that are in that position are astronauts, people on the space station, and these astronauts are the only people that really.
A lot of people seem to come to the conclusion that the only way to know the shape of the Earth is to go really high up, and I disagree with that, because we have all of human infrastructure, all of aviation, radar, sonar, radio wave frequencies, microwave frequencies. We have all of this evidence that we're not on a sphere. All of this stuff would effectively
Well, I'm just saying, hypothetically, if you could get into a rocket ship or a spaceship and travel around the Earth and back off up into space and actually orbit the Earth where you could see it with your own eyes, would that change your mind?
If we could do that, I'm pretty sure we would have done it already. Like, it's just, I'm not gonna put myself in some hypothetical.
Come on now.
I don't really do well with hypotheticals, man.
Well, I mean, it's like right now, if I was in your guys' shoes and I swore up and down and I would put my life on the line that the Earth was flat and that there was an ice wall, I would do everything I could to go see that ice wall.
Well, that's not within the realm of possibilities.
It is possible. I've already looked it up.
No, there's already videos, dude. People take trips to Antarctica all the time on cruises, and they show the ice wall, dude.
Then what's on the other side of the ice wall?
Well, hold on. That's a whole separate argument. The problem is there's already pictures and full-blown videos that have been proven to be real of the 200-foot tall ice
I've
shelf.
seen them.
It is there.
I've
So
seen
why
them.
would we need to go see it?
I've
It's
seen
already
them.
been documented.
But that's Antarctica. That's not necessarily an ice wall that goes all the way around the Earth,
How do you know it doesn't go all the way around the Earth?
because we would know it by now. This Earth has been documented by so many
All right.
explorers
I
and
think
scientists. We would
I
know.
think we're gonna move on to somebody else. I respect your opinion, bro. I do, but like
Okay.
we can just blindly trust like that. I'm not in that ballpark. I don't blindly
I know
trust
you're
and
not.
appeal to.
I
Yeah,
understand.
but this was a good conversation though. Just keep thinking about it. Seriously.
I
Yeah,
am.
Think
what you're
about
offering
think about
is
the
purely
things.
faith-based.
Good.
That's what you're offering is
Yeah.
faith-based arguments.
And think about the things that you can do as an individual as opposed to things that you would have to let somebody else do for you and just give you a video of it after the fact or some math on paper that says that they did it,
Well,
think about things that we can actually
the
verify.
the problem I'm having, maybe you guys can steer me in the right direction. The problem that I'm having is when I go down the road to start studying the flat earth, all these things make a lot of sense and are pure logical. Make a lot of sense. But now when I switch sides and I go over to the globe side and I start researching that, they've got a lot of good evidence too. It's like, what? What? So what do you do?
Are you aware of Captain Cook, James Cook?
Yeah. I mean, I'd have to dig a little deep, but I mean, yeah, I'm fairly a little bit familiar with it. I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
If you look at his notes when he circumnavigated Antarctica, it took him 3 years, and he said it was about 60 to 50,000 miles.
All right. What about Magellan? Magellan he went all the way around the Earth.
Okay.
He
What did he?
traveled latitudinally in a concentric circle. That would be my retort to that. You can
Yeah. Did he claim to go
circumnavigate.
around Antarctica?
Yeah, no. He would have. I don't remember his path, but he would have essentially traveled eastward or westward, which on a flat Earth that just takes you in a concentric circle, latitude.
Yeah, and if he's doing that in the northern hemisphere or towards the equator, it's going to be a much smaller circumference, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But I mean, it's like circumnavigation has no issue on a flat Earth. In fact, the word is in the name, right? Like circumference. You can circumnavigate anything with a circumference. So, of course, our coordinate system is mapped off of degrees.
So what about this? What about this firmament thing here?
It would be required. You're breathing from a pressurized atmosphere right now. Gas pressure requires a container.
So you understand why we're pressurized? What causes this pressure?
The container.
The container that
No,
we're
it's
breathing from.
it's the weight of the molecules.
Everything needs.
Wait, do you know the definition of gas pressure? Like the very simple, like if you were to define gas pressure, what would you say? What is that?
Well, pressure is there's a temperature pressure relationship there. The temperature goes up, the pressure goes up. Temperature goes down.
What
It's
I'm
a
looking for is
pressure-temperature
the
relationship.
basic definition, if you were to say.
The force exerted per unit area, so per square inch, usually psi, by gas molecules colliding with the walls of their containers. So you literally have to have a container by definition to measure psi or any other unit of gas pressure. But I'm sure psi is probably the only one that we really use. So you have to have a container basically to have gas pressure. Otherwise, you can't have it, or you can't measure it for certain.
All right, well.
And just keep in mind, like the globe says that the pressurized atmosphere that we breathe from is not only without a container, but it exists next to a very, very, very low pressure system that we classify as a vacuum. High pressure seeks low pressure. So
That's
if we
right.
have a high pressure, if we have a high pressure system here on Earth, it should not even just in theory, but via the laws of thermodynamics, which are natural laws, naturally, it
That's
should
right.
seek it should seek equilibrium with the
I mean,
vacuum
you're
of space.
exactly right. I mean, I agree. That's right. I mean, I'm
And
an
even in your model, if you were to even try to give an explanation of how the globe has an atmosphere that is pressurized, you have to beg the question of gravity, which no one has a dynamic theory for.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, we can maybe leave it there. I don't want to overwhelm you, but it's just food for thought information. A lot of this stuff is testable. It's recreatable on a flat surface. Pretty much everything that you could invoke. It's just a matter of maybe you just gotta dig a little bit more. You know.
all right, man.
Well, you take care of yourself. It was a good conversation. No,
All right,
no hard
thank you.
feelings.
All right, bud.
Yes, sir. Later, man. It's a hot dog. What? Oh my, holy guests.
Everybody make sure they're
Listen.
following the host if they like this type of content.
Yeah, I'd appreciate it, guys. This is my backup account. My main account I can't use for threat of it being removed from TikTok entirely. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for 45K, or just about. I'm trying to bring people up. Everybody that was in the guest box has left the guest box. Flat Earth Society page on Facebook says they have members all around. Okay, you're 5 years old, right?
I'm 10, boy.
Okay, that's not good. We can't be doing that. If we're in a container, why is the pressure less? We live in a dynamic system, dude. Pressure is proportional to temperature. It's a very.
I'm 10.
I'm sorry.
I blocked him, by the way.
Good. Thank you. Appreciate that. What's up, God? Okay. What's up, Goat?
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, man? Do you believe the Earth is a sphere?
I do. And rather than do the typical, going scientific comparison, usually what I do when I explain this is I try to, look at things through a different lens. Like if you look at things through a lens of capitalism, the oil and gas industry, they accommodate for the curvature of the Earth when they're drilling their wells.
No, you did not just say that.
I'm
I
serious.
deal
They
with
do.
drilling. I work directly with drillers. 1000%. They are not assuming the Earth is round when they just drill a hole in the ground. What are you saying?
No, when they're doing drilling, the UKOO7 UKOO P7 format, you have to include geodetic coordinates.
Can you bring up a source?
Yeah, pull up your source.
Please.
Yeah, you can. They have to account for that when they submit their geodetic.
Let's source our claims, if you don't mind, and we'll pour through the data.
Yeah, I know for sure. I literally work with underground people that go in portals underground, and no, they absolutely are not. Like, what sense does that even make? You're drilling a hole into the ground to hit an oil well, and where would you even need the curvature? What is?
I was kind of like, that's why I was
It's horizontal drilling usually where they're doing that, but when you're submitting your survey, you have to submit geodetic coordinates with that.
Okay, I missed the last part of what you were saying. We drill a horizontal line and that proves curvature? What? Like,
geodetic coordinates when they're submitting where their wells are, so you don't drill into somebody else's well.
We use a coordinate system that's representative of a sphere, and that proves the sphere. I don't see the raw data. I don't see like the physical evidence that the Earth is curving. I see a pre-assumption of curvature and math attributed to it, but I don't see evidence that the Earth is actually curving.
But if they
you can,
why would they waste money to do that just to?
I couldn't hear what you were saying. I don't know what they're wasting money on. You left the application, brother.
No, I was gonna say if they wouldn't waste money on pipe if they had to. I mean, oil companies are all about making profit. So when you're submitting
I worked
your
at a steel mill for 2.5 years. I'm well aware of that. We didn't make curved pipe while I was there. I know that they do, but for pipelines, 99% of them are. We actually would send, if they weren't perfectly level. I know they're cylindrical, but if they weren't perfectly level at the surface, we would send them back to the fabricator to have them refabbed, and they were labeled as defects.
Yeah, I also work with
pipe.
I also work with very large pipes that run for miles, and none of them are curved, by the way.
Exactly. Yeah, it's funny because you're probably working with some of the ones that like we used to send out. We used to send them out by the train, dude.
Yeah, we have tails ponds that get our reclaim water and our potable water and everything that go through filters and all that. All those pipes are flat. I dig around them, shovel around them, walk them, drive them. They're all flat.
Yeah, 40-foot segments on average. We weld them together for dozens, if not hundreds of miles. And you think that's evidence that we live on a sphere somehow? I was already a flat earther when I worked there. I should have taken more videos. They do come up in my Snapchat memories. Just acres and acres of pipe, bro. Like perfectly flat. So evidence that the Earth is curving somehow out of this. I'm waiting.
Well, I just said they account for it. If you look, I put it in the chat
Yeah,
because it's
where
hard
do
to.
we? Oh, you put it in the chat. No, we're gonna have to show our evidence on the screen for the audience, buddy. There's people here trying to.
I'm on the phone.
Screenshot it real
So I
quick.
can't do that.
You're on the
Screenshot
phone?
it.
Yeah, you're on the TikTok panel at the same time. So now you don't have evidence of your claim.
So we also need to ask him the question if he's under the impression that geodetic surveying is done by observation. How is geodetic surveying done?
I don't think
I am not an oil drill expert, so I don't punch holes in the ground. for
Oh,
that,
so
but I
you don't
that
know.
they-
So you're
Well, I know
just
that they
talking
count
about
for the
stuff you don't know?
curvature.
If you had to guess, how do you think geodetic surveying is done? Just take a guess. Take a gander.
Is there any chance we could get you to like stay in the application for more than 5 seconds at a time?
But when they're doing like over the land survey, they use like a theodolite, which uses the azimuth of the sun, and they use trigonometry to calculate.
Wait. Yeah, that's totally separate type of surveying. You think that you use a theodolite in geodetic surveying?
No, well, I mean, once you're above ground, you don't need to, but they do account for the curvature of the Earth when they're submitting their survey.
You're totally sidestepping the question, and 150 people are watching it. How do you think? Do you think if you think geodetic surveying is done in reality, how do you think it's done?
Well, I'm sure they're measuring how far that they are traveling up and down from the surface of the Earth.
Nope. Good
That would
guess,
just give
but
you an
you're wrong.
altitude. Yeah, that would just give you an altitude.
What they do is they take plane surveying data that assumes the Earth is flat, stitch it together, and assume the radius of the Earth. That's all they're doing. They do it at a computer.
7/6R, right?
And they throw away all the data that doesn't comport with the spiritual.
Exactly.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
a margin of error. They get like a mean of all the data, and if it doesn't fall within the margin of error, they disregard it.
They literally delete it. They just delete it. They don't even take it into account at all. If it's outside their margin of error or their threshold, they literally just throw it away.
Damn. Yeah, it's been a while since I had to talk about geodetic surveying, but I remember the basics. It's interesting stuff. Not proving the curvature of the Earth, though, unfortunately. Anything else, Goat? Thought you were going to be...
Hey, no, don't got anything else, but hey, you guys have a good night. Thanks for keeping it respectful.
Yeah, man.
You too, man. Have a good one.
Peace, bro. He followed me. I'm sure he'll come back at some point.
And again, like with surveying, you can, if you want to be accurate, you can only do it under 1,000 feet. So you have to take one theodolite to another theodolite, only go 1,000 feet, and then you have to hop over. You have to you freaking skip over them 1,000 feet, do it again, and we assume the Earth is flat for 100 square miles. So again, just destroyed.
It's literally the exact same thing with the pipes. Like You take a 40-foot
100%.
segment of pipe and you
Mhm.
stitch together, weld it. Yeah, it's the exact same thing. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes. And then they tell people that it's evidence of the Earth curving. It's very funny.
Yeah, they're literally what they're literally saying without knowing it is they're saying that they take the flat Earth data to a computer and bake in the radius assumption, and that's evidence the Earth is round because some math was done and a radius was assumed. It's insane. It's hilarious.
Yeah, and we don't actually build infrastructure with geodetic data. Like we build infrastructure with the plane surveying data, which is funny.
Well, what's funny is the geodetic surveying data is the plane surveying data.
Yeah, but it's exactly. But it's just botched. It's cooked. I guess you could use the word cooked. What's up? I'm just gonna call you Who. What's up, man?
Yeah. So I just had a few quick questions about some
Can I
stuff
ask
you
you?
talked about.
Okay. Can I ask you if did you just tell me if you believe the Earth is a sphere, real quick?
Yeah, I do.
All right. I'm just gonna let you go ahead. What's up?
So I was just wondering, how do you believe that the day and night cycle works?
Sun, moon would be small local light sources, and they would just move over the Earth. Is because light doesn't travel forever. Obviously, the entire Earth would not be illuminated at once. That's a straw man. If you've ever seen that picture of a lamp over a flat disk, that's just a misrepresentation of what we experience in reality, designed to make flat Earth look stupid. Nobody believes that. The sun, you can literally stand still on the Earth and watch the sun move away from you, and it just appears to converge at the horizon because of angular resolution and not angular resolution, convergence. And then, of course, light does not travel forever in a medium; it attenuates over distance.
Well, angular resolution is definitely a part of that. Optical compression, though, refraction, all of these things come into play, right?
Okay.
Also, I have another question. I heard you talking about a ice wall earlier in the live. I want you to explain something like that.
Yeah, Antarctica is admitted to be the highest elevation continent of any continent. It's at average 200 feet above sea level, and there's pictures of it being above that.
All right, so I'll give you an hypothetical here. So if you were to take a plane and just fly it straight, what happens? What do you think happens?
Yeah, all aviation assumes that the Earth is flat and stationary. So
Yeah, we don't adjust for curvature of the Earth when we fly aircraft. What you're referencing is a phenomenon called dead reckoning. If you flew in a straight path in any direction, you would eventually end up going south, objectively. However,
on both
if you were to
models.
yeah, definitely on both. And however, if you were to travel eastward or westward and keep readjusting your heading to keep you facing eastward or westward, then you would end up circumnavigating.
All right.
I doubt that you're familiar enough with the flat Earth to kind of envision what it is I'm explaining to you. But
Yeah, now this is my first time talking about it with people.
No, that's
I'm trying
awesome,
to see
dude.
what other people are
That's a win,
thinking
Solly.
about.
That shows you're getting on the For You page, dude. That's a win right there. First timer, dude. But
Yeah,
not
I've been
only
in the
that,
live for
dude,
an hour just listening, trying to figure out what's going on.
yeah, but not only that, but if you look at the gyroscopic data from planes, it shows that once they get to altitude, they just fly flat and stationary.
All right.
Yeah, because the gyroscope, in concordance with the attitude indicator, would notice any change in pitch or yaw, and we don't experience that. We fly with usually roughly a negative or a positive 2 or 3, maybe upwards of 5 degree pitch up to maintain drag and lift, but we don't actually you would think if you're flying over a sphere, you would have to adjust downwards to adjust for curvature of Earth. We don't do that. We fly straight and level. And that's just impossible if we live on a sphere geometrically. It just wouldn't work.
All right.
Yo, Solly, you can keep cooking it up, brother, but this is about the time I start up my live. So I gotta go get ready and set things up. I'm gonna start up a live.
It's not bad for you to leave because I gotta use the restroom, so I'm trying to get through these guests as quick as I can, bro. But I appreciate you, brother. Take
Yeah,
care.
man. You have a great night, dude. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow or something.
Yeah, peace, bro. Thanks again.
Yeah, I'm gonna dip out too. So it was fun, man. I enjoyed
Yeah,
it. So appreciate you having me
yeah.
on.
Peace, bro. Take care. All right. Any other questions, homie?
Nah, that was it. I was just trying to figure out like what you think like going on and stuff.
So can I ask you a few questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
So like, what do you like? You said you do think we live on a sphere. Can I ask why?
This is just how I've been taught, bro. We just live on a sphere.
Yeah, that's not the wrong answer. But do you experience the Earth as if it's a sphere? Like when you go outside, you don't feel it moving, you don't see it curving. Like,
Well,
what
no,
if you
I
were the
don't.
only person? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
If you were the only person on Earth, right, and nobody ever told you anything about it, and you just lived up to however old you are right now, do you think you would have come to the conclusion that the Earth was a sphere, orbiting the sun, all that stuff, like on your own?
Yeah, because you look up in the sky, you see either the
What?
moon or the sun, right? You see a sphere, right? That's like,
How would you know that those are spheres? That's what I'm saying. Like, you're pre-assuming that too. And even if the sun and the moon are spheres, how would you know that the Earth was a sphere?
well, I don't really know because,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a low key good point.
I'm just saying, like, do you know water always seeks its level? Water always levels out in
Yeah.
large bodies. I think I have a Gatorade here. Like, this is part water at least. You know, it's gonna level out no matter what I do to it. 70% of the Earth's surface is, of course, water. Doing the exact same thing, leveling out. We even call it sea level because it's always the same altitude. We measure continents off of that, their elevation relative to sea level. We literally use it as a measuring device. 'Cause water is that consistent at maintaining its level. So that again works on a flat Earth, works perfectly fine, but on a globe Earth that doesn't work. There's some fine tuning problems there. Like how do you get it to stick to a ball? How is it maintaining level and curving at the same time? Like does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and again, like aviation, we don't adjust for curvature. We don't adjust for curvature when we build infrastructure. We assume the Earth to be flat when we do plane surveying. There's no evidence we live on a sphere, bro. That's why, like, when I ask people that question, like, you know, can you provide evidence that we live on a sphere? You get a lot of like weird answers, but none of it actually really proves that we live on a sphere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anything else, man?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you also about the Artemis 2 launch, I think it was called, that just happened recently. Like what you thought about that too.
I don't know, dude. If that's good enough for you to keep believing in this shit, that's on you, man. I kind of see the forest for the trees. I think they're they're supposed to be orbiting the Earth twice before they allegedly, right? You orbit the Earth twice and then you use the gravitational pull to launch you in the direction of the moon.
Yeah.
But I think it would be more interesting if they showed like nonstop footage of them actually orbiting the Earth 2 times, but they didn't do that. They just give us pictures from when they're really, really far away, and that could have easily just been. Dude, I could make a picture that, like the pictures that they're giving us, I could literally make it on my Galaxy 26. I'm not even joking. Like your cell phone has, I don't know what your cell phone has, but my cell phone, dude, I can do some crazy AI type editing with my own cell phone, and like
Yeah.
I just don't really believe the pictures that they're showing us. To be honest, I think a lot of them look kind of cartoony. And they did take one picture of the Earth. There's probably like 30% of the Earth shown in the picture out of a window, but there's no land. It's just like water and clouds. 30% of the Earth with no land. Like that just doesn't really make sense. It's almost like they don't want to put the continents in place just so that people don't pick that apart. But at the same time, they discredit themselves by doing that. And launching a rocket, like I know they did launch a rocket. I'm not saying that that's false, but it also goes towards the Atlantic Ocean and then you never see it again. So it could, in theory, go anywhere. It could even go into the ocean and they just pick it up later. Just
Yeah.
saying, you know.
All right.
Anything else, bro?
Nah, that's it. I was just in here asking a few questions.
All right, man. Well, feel free to come back sometime, bro.
All right. Have a good night.
Peace, bro. You too. What's up, Dave? No video of the Earth, but plenty of them flipping the mic. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. We got plenty of videos of people in what's the word I'm looking for? Suspension. You guys know what I'm thinking of, but we don't have any evidence of the Earth. You know, us orbiting the Earth for 48 whole hours. I'm trying to get through these guys. I gotta use the restroom and I gotta get ready for bed. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you, man. What's up? I cannot say that alphabet soup of a name. What's up though?
Why do you think the Earth is flat?
We experience it that way. Why do you think it's a sphere?
I mean, like, cause like I was taught, gravity, bro.
That's compelling. What is gravity?
Thing that keeps us down here.
Do you want to try to explain it a little bit better? Like, what are we talking about? Are we talking about like mass attracting mass, or like the bending and warping of a fourth dimensional fabric called space time? What do we? What do you mean?
Just gravity.
Just gravity, just the word. That's not very good, bro. Got a lot of people telling me to check your age. I'm not actually gonna bother. Um, thanks, guys. I didn't think about it at first. Perhaps I should have. Seems like that's what they got confused about. I'm not sure what that's in reference to. I have one more, and I think this guy's been on my live a couple of times. I'm pretty sure he's a troll. And actually, it shows because he did the longest out of
What?
all of my guests.
I am definitely not a troll. I come up and ask honest questions, and I'm not trolling at all.
Like what? I remember your name, and I remember having a negative vibe like correlated with your name. So,
Well, I hopefully I can correct that.
Okay. What's you got, bro?
But I was also asking about I wanted to ask about Artemis. And so you kind of already answered it that, did you agree that people went there? We saw something launch into the air and at least go out of view. So you think that the rocket just like went somewhere unknown in the Atlantic Ocean?
I don't know where it went. Do you know where it went? Keyword no. Do you know
Yeah, I mean,
where it went, or do you just believe what you're told about about its origin?
well,
Oh,
yeah, I
hold on,
believe that it.
guys. We have evidence that the Earth is a sphere. Hold on. Wow.
Well,
Wait,
no,
is
no,
that propulsion in a vacuum? Is that what that's showing?
yeah, and here it's the boosters are separating right there, and you can actually watch the same
Propulsion.
footage from the ground.
How do you have propulsion in a vacuum?
Well, I don't think you need to actually push off anything. I'm sure you've heard the example of
Oh,
like throwing a basketball to your friend on a
how's
skateboard.
it? You know, that would actually defy Newton's third law. You're gonna have to explain that better. How is it what is it pushing off of to gain acceleration?
Well, it's throwing something out. So in
Yeah,
this
no,
case,
that
it's
wouldn't, but that object wouldn't push off of anything. There's no medium, so that doesn't like answer the
wait. Are you
question.
talking about? Are you hold on? So hold on. Are you talking about the booster falling away right there,
Is
or
that
are you
not
just talking about?
propulsion? Is that not what you were showing me? I'm sorry.
No, no,
You kind of entertained it as if that was propulsion when I
no.
suggested it.
I was showing that where I thought the rocket went. You started asking about how it's propelling through space.
Well, both of those are logical questions. How do you have a rocket propelling itself in space?
Well, like I'm under the impression that you don't actually have to push off of anything if you're in a
Oh,
low gravity
all
area.
right.
That just like throwing something off of the spacecraft would push you in the other direction. Just equal and
Oh,
opposite.
so just disregard physics, ignore Newton's three laws. Perfect. Yeah, I've heard enough, bro. And I don't like the lies that you told me. I'm actually gonna just block you, bro. Because I know I remember you, and I don't remember having the best conversations with you in the past. And I had quite a few people in my comments telling me that you were basically an anti-flat earther, not worth my time, etc., etc. Go take my piss. Yeah. Trust? Yeah, just trust whatever the TV says. I'm not bringing any more people up, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up. Yeah, just trust whatever the media tells you. Trust whatever you hear. Just swallow dogma. Don't bother chewing it or digesting it. Just and then just regurgitate it at anybody who questions you from that moment forward. Have it on standby so that you can just barf dogma in the faces of those that oppose you and question the narrative. That's the key. Thruster can't push off of something that's sucking harder than it can push. Yeah, well, if there's nothing there to push off of, who are you throwing the basketball to? Who's standing on this skateboard of yours? Do you know what I mean? Like, I love how he gave this analogy of Newton's third law in action. And then like, but you're not understanding though. There's no skateboard. There's no other person. Does that make sense? Like, there is nothing. There's no medium. Airplanes push off of the air, boats push off of water, cars push off of roads, vacuums don't push off of anything. There's nothing in space. Flat earthers know this. Globers really struggle with it. I don't understand it. You're like just saying that because you launched something away from it that will push you in the opposite direction. Bro, there's nothing for that to push off of. That doesn't work. Anyway. Earth is flat, stationary plane, boundaries are strictly protected. Yeah, more than likely, bud. We might be stuck here, but that's okay. I wouldn't really have it any other way. More guests? Don't go. I don't have more guests, actually. Believe that thank you, Nitty. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you very much. You've been sending me a lot of gifts lately, bro. I really love you, bro. Thank you. I was reading something. Believe the media, the earth is round. Okay. Anyway, I guess we'll just end it on that. Just literally go back to sleep then. Love you guys, and I'm grateful. Thank you guys for 55K, 100 viewers. We might actually be on the FYP, bro. Caleb might be right. But either way, I gotta get off of here. I gotta use the restroom and get ready for bed. Caleb's got to start his own live, so at least we have somewhere to go after this. And yeah, we'll just go over there and support Caleb. So I love you guys, and we'll try again tomorrow. Peace, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Have a good night.